born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes. Welcome, athletes, into another episode of the Gym Closet. We are on 186 today, and we got a good one today. Amber is out. She is with a sick child. Porter has a double ear infection today on Pierce's first day of school, and all sorts of chaos hit this morning. So she is out for the gym closet. We might call her. I don't know if she. No, my phone's over there, but maybe we might give her a call
give
here.
her a guest appearance. We haven't had a guest on the phone for a long time.
That's true. We'll see if she has. We'll put her on the spot maybe and see if she has any cravings for the audience here. But regardless, we're going to have a good one today. If this is your first time joining us, the Gym Closet is a Krave Gym podcast. We talk about everything that is Krave Gym, all of our programming, all of our stuff that goes on in the gym, as well as optimizing your life as an athlete and living like an athlete. Why that's important, we go over that pretty much every single week, but living like an athlete means being great, being successful, and that's what athletes do. That's the way to live like an athlete. So that's what we talk about on a daily basis. And today is no different. We have, so today, also, if you're paying attention to our social media, we have a takeover for Zach. How's that going?
It's going good. I forget to do it a lot, so I haven't really put that many updates.
That's like like Amber does it every once in a while and does a good job, but like that is another like full-time job of
Seriously,
it really is.
Yeah.
Doing
it
like social media stories and shit. The people that are like
oh my
doing
God,
that daily, I'm like,
because like I
that's
found
insane.
myself like even like right here, I was like, oh shit, I've done like 3 things and I haven't said anything about any of it, But
Right.
Well, what I'm doing today is really that interesting though? Probably not. In all reality.
Well, what we need to do is we need to get. Where's your phone? You got it on?
It's right now. I got it right here. Yeah.
So now we need to do a live update.
just do a
on,
live,
on
yeah.
the podcast, where we have a behind the scenes and kind of show you guys what the other side of the studio looks like. We only got 3 chairs, so the thing's off. But I did figure out how to not have a screensaver pop up. So middle of the podcast. Zach's going to be on
Wow, this is the shakiest that will ever be.
I love it. So he is on the Waukee Instagram. So if you want to see the other side of the studio, which has a little white piece of paper. So if you ever look at craveathlete.com and see our products as far as like apparel and that kind of stuff, the photo shoot booth studio deal is on the other side of this room. So so now you can see that from that. But I did ask a question. What was the favorite part of your day? So answer that for us.
Yeah, the favorite part of my day is going home to see my wife at the end of.
There we go. That's a great.
Good answer.
That's what my new answer is.
Okay, so that's a good social. That's a good like life answer. And what about at work? What's your
Yes,
favorite
so that was
part
my original answer
the
before
thought, right?
before my wife texted me.
That's awesome. I didn't mean the question wasn't about your day. It was
That's how
about
I
your
took it to.
work
I
day.
took it to mean about like my favorite part of the day
So Haley, yeah.
at Krave. Sorry, Haley.
No, and I would have taken it that way too. No, thinking that it's a
Right.
on the work Instagram.
I just thought that was such a widely known thing. I didn't have to say that.
Right,
But-
that goes without saying.
Right, that's what I thought.
The best part of the day is coming home to your wife.
That's what I thought
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
whatever. So, yeah, that's a really good question though. Actually, and I think we're all 3 kind of in the same boat of doing a lot of like different things throughout the day, and that's like honestly one of my favorite parts of doing what we do. Is that I'm not sitting and doing the same thing over and over and over again for an entire day. So yeah, like just over the course of like even like just today, I've had a couple personal training clients, I've had a couple team sessions, a couple nutrition meetings, talking to prospects and leads on the phone and texting. Now we're here doing the podcast. We had a little, quick meeting beforehand. So there's so many different things, and that's what I really enjoy. If I had to pick a favorite, I would say coaching the team sessions are my favorite, just because, just the energy is super fun. I always think. Personal training I really like too. Being able to like build those relationships, and same with nutrition coaching, being able to like build those one-on-one relationships with athletes is really cool to me. And again, kind of putting that together, having those one-on-one relationships with people that are then in the team sessions and kind of interconnecting all of that is super, super cool to me. But to wrap it all up, favorite part would be coaching the team sessions. Love the energy.
Yeah, I think that's always something cool when you do have a performance training client, or you do have a personal training one-on-one client that then you coach obviously in the team sessions as well. It's always fun to see that the progress in both, because oftentimes it's quite a bit different, or it's specific goal oriented in the one-on-ones,
Right.
versus then the team sessions is more of a broad scope athleticism type of strength and conditioning session. So when you have both of those, you see the person that you're working with one-on-one, you see it where they start in the team session atmosphere, and then I've seen this to where like I work with them one-on-one over and over and over and over. Several months go by, and they kind of like jump up the performance chart of like, maybe they were a bottom tier athlete as far as like what they could do in comparison to the group.
Right.
And now they've jumped up and jumped up and jumped up, and just the extra that they're doing, they perform so much better to the highest level in the team sessions because of the stuff that we're specifically working on in the one-on-one.
Right.
So it's cool to see how that affects everything. Even like a nutrition athlete, I love to see the one-on-one stuff that you do with the athletes, and then seeing how that affects like their overall life and their overall other things other than just that one-on-one session.
Right.
What's your favorite part of the day? So we all, just to kind of talk, everybody, if you don't know, Dan and Zach are the head coaches at Waukee and West Des Moines, and so they have some other responsibilities as far as like manager and some behind the scenes work as far as prospecting, different things like that. So they're not just coaching all day long. So it's kind of gives them some of that split. That's what they were talking about with doing a lot of different things. But so they're all in the same boat, and obviously myself and Amber included in that. We've all been in the situation where we're doing all of those specific things, So it's always, I always like to see and get feedback, and kind of am curious to see what you guys are experiencing, because it's something similar to what I experienced when I was, when I was managing and doing the coaching and all that kind of stuff too. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So obviously the team sessions are always fun, because like Zach was saying, like the energy that we get back, because obviously not everybody wants to go and work out at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. But being able to have that energy that we give off, have that reciprocated back to us is always nice. That's always good. That helps us kind of get through the day too. But then on the personal training side, that's kind of like what Zach was talking about and what Tyler was talking about, is that performance aspect, is seeing the progress of the athlete from like week to week, and having those numbers jump is always awesome. And then I think the big thing is showcasing that and showing the ability of what we can do, and saying like, this is where this person started, and going, kind of referencing what Tyler was saying, is jumping from that bottom tier to that next tier and just keep going up and progressing is always awesome. But showcasing that on social media, and then getting that love back from everybody, and be like, oh yeah, this person's like doing awesome. And then having the whole community, the whole Krave team kind of jumping in on that and like celebrating, I think is the biggest thing. But yeah, I think kind of like with the social media, that is another full-time thing.
It's
like
hard, yeah.
that,
It
like
really
that
is.
TikTok or the reel that I made last week of having like the progression of a lead. I can't tell you how long that took.
Isn't
It
it
probably
crazy?
took a lot longer than it was supposed
Yeah.
to.
Well,
but
like today, like literally every video that I've taken today, like you're seeing like the 9th try. Like,
Yeah.
'cause I literally, like, this is like a joke that I have with people over in Waukee, is like, I will literally sit there like in the office, and I'll like hit the button, and like sometimes I'll get like 3 seconds in, and I'll be like, what's up guys? Fuck.
Yeah,
I'll, like,
yep.
cut it off. And then, but sometimes I'll get like 45 seconds in, and I'll like say something, and I'll like fuck something up, and I'll be like, oh my god, and then I have to restart it. And I'm like, in reality, I'm like, I could just
See, and that's what
keep
I've
going.
that's the one thing I've kind of learned. Now,
Yeah.
Amber is awesome at it, and
I say
and
Amber,
so
like,
she
yeah, she
can
just
make a
goes,
reel
like-
like yours, like faster.
Yeah.
Obviously, it still takes a lot of time, but if you get to become an expert at all that kind of stuff, it goes a little bit faster. So she's obviously the resident social media queen when it comes to Krave Gym. So she does it better, right? But with all of that being said, like, it does take forever. And the one thing that I've realized when I'm doing social media, similar to this, is like I stopped editing. I stopped worrying
That's
about
what I need to do
what
too.
the
Yeah.
hell
is,
I'm
like,
talking about. I stopped worried about anything like that.
I've gotten
And if
better, yeah,
Yeah.
but like it's still one of those things that like I'm still kind of at a point where I'm like, oh, everything has to be like really like everything has to flow, and like
polished up a
if
little
I
bit.
if I like stutter or like I say like like I'm like, oh, I gotta restart the video, and I'm starting to get to a point finally where I can just be like, you know what, nobody really cares.
Well, and that's the thing that I've noticed is
Nobody notices,
right? And it's one of those
honestly.
things that it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to admit, shit. Okay, never mind. I fucked up that. Don't forget about what I just
Right.
said there. This is what I meant to say. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And saying all of that, it might waste 5 seconds, but it's so much better than trying to figure it out.
Right,
Go
trying to
back.
go back.
But then it's like everybody kind of looks at that, and I think that they realize that, oh yeah, that's real. That's what I would
Right.
be doing if I was trying
Yeah.
to make an announcement or whatever, you know, that we typically are doing on
Yeah.
social media. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
so,
so
and-
appreciate those videos.
Right, yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
them.
and appreciate them, and like we appreciate that, like the people that do like this, commenting on the video, if we have social media
Oh, yeah, like-
stuff, commenting on those things and staying active on those things makes it so like there's no worse feeling than getting you know, spending that much time on a video or something,
Right.
and then having just crickets and nobody like commenting on it, nobody doing
Right.
anything. And in reality, it's probably because most people have not seen it, because like an algorithm in today's world kind of kills that shit right away if it doesn't get like, if you're the first person to see it and you comment on it, it now goes to 20 other people. If you're the first person to see it and you don't don't take any action, it just kills it. Less people get it, less people get it, less people get it, until it's not going to anyone. So like I always take it personal when I don't get a bunch of
Yeah.
people commenting and doing that kind of stuff. But
It's true,
but in
though.
reality,
Like, it really
it's
is,
like
yes.
if the first couple people don't hit thumbs up, don't
Right.
like boost the algorithm, then it's going to just sink it to where no one else even sees it.
Right.
So that's the thing so if you are watching, if you are part of our social media, if you're a part of Krave and on the team, when you do see something that you like, give it some love, and that way it goes to other people. Same thing with the podcast and all the clips and all that kind of shit too.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. That's a perfect.
Tired of asking.
Yeah. No, we have 100. We bumped up quite a bit, so we have 130 now.
Holy crap.
So you know what's cool though is if we get to 1,000, we get to do like more cool stuff. We can go live on this. We can go live on YouTube and all this other stuff. But we can't do any of that until we get to 1,000. So
Right.
hit that subscribe if you're watching us. We have over 130 people watching the video a lot of times, and not all subscribe.
Yeah, and it's not
obviously.
acceptable, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Right.
I'm just
So,
kidding.
let's do a little bit more announcements about Krave. We have our Cubs game coming up this weekend. So if you do still want to go, you can still go. Please, we have to make a final announcement here at the middle of the week. So please, as fast as you can, email us or sign up at the front desk of are the sign-ups still up? Because I know we said it was last Friday was the last time.
Yeah,
Are they still
I
up?
think the new deadline is now like today,
Like right now.
like right now.
Right
So
now.
hopefully you're listening to this live.
Yeah. So check that out, and then we'll get those tickets pushed out, or you can meet us there, and we'll just get those tickets counted for at will call or whatever. But we have that coming up. We do have, for those who don't know, I just put a TV over at West Des Moines. That is our grand prize for our recruiting contest. So what we're doing is, if you bring anyone in for the next now 3 weeks, it was 4 weeks long, so it started last week. Ashton won protein and creatine,
Mhm.
right? So you basically, if you bring anyone in to try a training session, to try out the gym, you get put into a drawing for at the end of the week. We have 4 weeks where at the end of each week you will be put into a drawing that week for the week's prize, which is this week, I believe, is a $100 gift certificate to Krave Apparel. Am I right on that?
I
Yep.
think so.
I
Yeah.
think so. Okay. So it's on all of our socials and stuff if you haven't seen it. But each week you get a prize, plus then you also get put into the grand prize drawing for our TV. So I just picked that up yesterday for West Des Moines. The Waukee one is on its way as well, so that will be up so that you can kind of see that and be reminded that if you have anyone that has ever said that they would be interested in checking out the gym, now's the time to do it because you can get some really cool prizes every week. You could win 4 badass prizes and then the TV.
And TV. Yeah, you could win. Yeah.
So every week you are input into the prize if you bring someone that week. But everybody is input into the grand prize for that drawing. And it's the number of times you bring someone in unique prospects in. So if you can't bring the same person over and over and over and over, and that would not count as multiple guests. But if you bring multiple people in, you get multiple entries into those guests. So it's kind of cool opportunity to get a bunch of stuff for free. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be like $600-700 worth of giveaways. So it'll be a sweet opportunity to get everything you need. But let's jump into, I think that's the last announcement. Do we have anything else for Krave going on?
No,
Nope.
not until the end of the season.
Nope.
That's true. That's true. And we're coming up on the end of the season too. And I'll talk a little bit about preparation for next season here in a second. But we're going to start with Zach's
Oh.
myth.
Okay.
Surprise.
I was not ready. No, I'm. Okay. Myth for the week is the concept that that real food is better than protein shakes when you need protein. So, this is one of those things that you have to look at in a vacuum, but then also adding the human element in as well is kind of the best way that I can describe it. So, with the human element, which obviously is kind of the overarching thing that we want to look at, protein shakes, they're no better or worse for you. If there's 25 grams of protein in a protein shake, that 25 grams of protein is no better or worse for you than 25 grams of protein from really anything else. The problem that I think people will run into sometimes is people tend one of the kind of fad diets I guess that's out there is the all shake meal replacement shakes. What's the one that it's you have a shake for breakfast and a shake for lunch and then a sensible dinner or whatever? I don't remember.
I don't even know.
I don't remember what that one is.
I can't even remember what that Shakeology.
Something like that, yeah. But there's become this
Not to give any.
not to sorry.
Yeah, those.
Oopsies.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I think that's kind of where some of this myth has stemmed from. Going that route again, the nutrients that you're getting from those are not going to be any better or worse. The problem with it is the sustainability aspect of things, right? So if you are having 3 protein shakes a day and that's your only source of protein that you are ever getting, that's going to be tough to sustain over the course of weeks and months and years and the rest of your life, right? So the biggest thing that we want people to understand is being able to, when they go through our nutrition program and they're tracking macros or whatever you end up doing with nutrition, is being able to find different ways to get that protein and to hit those numbers basically, right? So we don't want to just rely on chugging down 3 or 4 protein shakes every single day because it's just not sustainable. With that being said, though, having a second or a third protein shake in a day or doubling up and having 2 protein shakes, 2 servings at once to hit your protein on, this day or a couple times a week is not a bad thing at all, right? Typically to hit my protein, I'm having 2 shakes a day. I kind of go into it planning on having 2 shakes a day. And then if I don't need that second shake, it's kind of just a pleasant surprise, you know. A lot of people when I meet with my nutrition clients, come back in and they're like, I'm just consistently 25 grams, 30 grams short on protein every single day, and I just don't know what to do. And typically I'm like, have a second protein shake. You know, don't overthink things. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't make it, you know, in your mind that you have to go and like prepare this big meal at 10 o'clock at night to then hit your protein. Like, just have a second protein shake. It's really not, you know, it doesn't have to be a big complicated thing.
Yeah, and I think that myth,
I
think ultimately that myth comes from, you know, our athletes that we work with nutrition, basically saying like, you know, not realizing that, oh, I can have 50 grams of protein throughout the day, or even 75 grams of protein if I needed it from shakes, right? And so like for me, I even doubling up a shake in one shake is kind of what I do. So like I don't like protein shakes personally. I've had them every day since I was probably 12.
Right.
So like to me, it's like I
they
just
get old.
don't. Yeah, I just don't really. It's a necessary evil, right? So I don't like them because to me, like my stomach doesn't really love them. I kind of get queasy prior to just even as I'm mixing one up to take it. But I do it every day because I need that protein, and I double it up every day. So then I'll put 2 scoops of that protein every single day and hit that for the protein that we use is Core Nutritionals. That Core Pro that I use is 25 grams per scoop, so I get 50 grams with that. So like the thing that I think people oftentimes don't think about is like they are like, oh, I have to have 1 scoop per 1 shake per day, and I think we always talk about like optimizing. So there's optimal, and then there's the human element. I think that's kind of what you were talking about. But the optimizing is getting your nutrition, getting all of your nutrition and all of your protein and all of your greens and all of your macronutrients and micronutrients from, you know, dense, healthy foods that you're able to get different sources at different times, all of this kind of stuff, right? And the human element is how much time do we have? How much effort do we have to put into different things, and how much money can we spend on these things? And so if you have the opportunity to have a chef and not worry about anything like time, effort, or money, then by all means, have that chef optimize your nutrition, right? None of us, nobody that I know has that. And so, so that means, you know, for me, it means prepping the same chicken or turkey burger or beef, prepping that for an entire week. So our protein source, at least for 3-4 days at a time, is going to be the exact same protein source, which would be the exact same concept of doing a couple shakes in a day, right? And there's days where, you know, I just don't eat enough, and then I have to have that second shake. And if I single scoop a second shake, then I get 75 grams of protein from whey protein, right? The only time that I would say that probably isn't a good idea is if you do logistically have like stomach issues with, if you're lactose intolerant, find a lactose-free protein shake, right? And so there's always a way around it, but I wouldn't recommend doing those things if it actually hurts your stomach to the point where you're having, you know, digestion issues. But that's a kind of a different story. For the typical person, get your protein in, period. I mean, that's all that it really matters. I get 50 grams, around 50 grams from eggs in the morning. I do basically a dozen egg whites every single morning. Well, yesterday we were out of eggs. So if we don't have a dozen egg whites, now what can we do with that? What I'm doing is I'm basically saying, okay, now I have 5 egg whites. Where do I get the other protein from that I'm used to getting at that breakfast, and so I made a protein shake and drank that. It was a single scoop, so I had 5 eggs and a scoop of protein. Now that's 50 grams of protein that I'm used to getting at that breakfast time. So now all of that stuff can shift around. Bottom line being hit your numbers.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
And I'm glad you said that too, because like they're supplements. They're there to help
Right.
supplement and
Right.
fill in the gaps
Yes.
rather than rely on it.
Yeah.
Because you do want to get like your protein from other like chicken, beef, like seafood, those like turkey, those types of things. Get it because that has other, like you were saying, micronutrients and other like the vitamins, minerals, and all that kind of stuff. But they're there to fill in the gaps, not necessarily be like your crutch that you're leaning
Right.
on the whole time for your nutrition.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Exactly. And that's what he was saying. If you need to hit that for a couple days, or if you're going on vacation, or
Oh, yeah.
you're strapped for time for a week, eat those extra or drink those extra protein shakes, eat the extra protein bars or whatever is quick for you, but then trying to have a long-term solution of doing X, Y, and Z, prepping your meat, or even if you're a vegan, you still need your protein, right? So then you have your plant source proteins that you need to prep and that kind of stuff. So
Yup.
and if you're drinking extra protein shakes,
Ooh.
that helps you stay hydrated,
Oh.
which is our word of the week. So hydrate is our word of the week. So we are going to get into that especially with our new season starting here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks out.
Yes.
So starting the first Monday of September coming up here, we have our endurance season. And during our endurance season, we do extra endurance. And with that, we need to make sure that we are getting the proper hydration. And I think that, during the summer, I know that's when it's still hot out. But right now is when I feel like I would typically stop thinking about hydration, because it's like, oh, all these fall things are happening, all this kind of stuff where I'm not worried about like summer heat anymore, but it's still there. And so that's
Still like 100 degrees.
it's still
yeah.
100 degrees
Yeah.
out. And so that's where like, in me personally, I just started hitting a big jug that I don't have in front of me, but it's in my office, of drinking, trying to hydrate more, just consciously doing that. But definition of hydration is basically just replacing the bodily fluids that you expel from either sweating or urination. And when you're working out, especially in endurance season, you're going to be sweating extra. When you're working out outside, or even if like you work outside, you're sweating a lot. So that's one of the tips that we'll have. I have 5 tips that we can kind of follow to stay hydrated and work on your hydration actively. But that's going to be one of them that I'm going to talk about. But in doing that, it's oftentimes overlooked, I feel like, where I'm not really worried, like we talked about optimizing stuff, right? I'm never typically worried about hydration. Naturally, I kind of stay pretty hydrated, especially on like days I work out, because I'm doing like a pre-workout with water. During my workout, I do my BCAAs with water or Supremos with water, and then I'm doing post-workout, typically protein shake. So right there, I'm getting, 24 ounces times 3. So, whatever, 60, 72 ounces.
72
Woo.
sounds good.
Yes, I crunched those numbers quick. But yeah, so 72 ounces is a great start. And so I do that pretty much every workout that I get. So that's one of those things where it's like, okay, on days where I'm working out, that not even an issue hydration wise. But what I've been finding is that's kind of my stopping point lately. So that's kind of why I implemented a jug of water and started thinking about it a little bit more, because there's a lot of different things that it does. So it's, hydration in general is going to do a ton for your body, just efficiency wise, bringing nutrients into your muscles, doing a bunch of things that just help your body. I think I should have looked this number up, but I know that like the human body is like 90% water, something crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact, but it's like a very
It's high.
A very
it's
Yeah,
crazy high.
it's more
crazy
water
high
than a
percent
lot of
water,
anything
right?
else.
So every cell is filled with water. So increasing that is going to be huge. But some of the tips that I had on training sessions: start your training on training session days. Start your training hydrated, meaning drink on your way to the workout, drink prior to the workout. A lot of people will work out either before work or after work. So if it's after work, super easy to grab that water bottle as you're walking out of work and sip on that water until you start your workout. Early morning people, it's probably a little bit more difficult because I know if I'm early morning, I'm rolling out of bed with as much time to sleep as possible. But again, on the drive, that's when you can be sipping on some water and get a few ounces in during that time. Early morning too. I know it's probably not ideal for a lot of people, but if you have, if you end your day with some water, that's going to help your morning hydration as well. So that's the other thing. So that's number one. Tip number one is start your training with hydration. Number two is going to be drink extra electrolytes. So that is a Powerade, Gatorade, ours supplement that we're doing, and in the supplement pack that we have for next season is our Supremos. So the Supremos is basically added electrolytes on top of BCAAs as well as EAAs, which is our amino acids. So they help with recovery and stuff for the strength side of the workout, but then they also have the electrolytes for hydration during that time where we're sweating extra. But drinking extra electrolytes is going to be tip number two. Number three is replace what you lose. So a good thought to, and again, optimally, you would weigh yourself before, weigh yourself after. Every pound that you lose, you need to drink that 24 ounces of water or a sports drink or whatever that you're doing. Usually I would recommend a calorie-free sports drink, but that's just kind of more of a personal preference because I don't like to drink my calories unless it's a protein shake. But I don't like to get a whole bunch of sugar in my drinks because to me that's a waste of carbs when I really like to eat my carbs. But that's a different story. Anyway, replacing what you lose. So the thing that you can kind of see is typically our workouts trend very similarly, right? So if I once one workout in the summer months and one workout in the winter months when it's hot and cold, if you live in a place where you have seasons, do that. Weigh yourself before, weigh yourself after, see how much you lose, and then you can kind of judge, I lost 3 pounds of sweat during that training session. That's crazy. I need to make sure that I'm getting, 24 times 3 into my drinking that much as I get done. The other thing is it does vary depending on temperatures and all that kind of stuff. So when it's hot, do it once, and then you're probably going to trend very similarly. So so then when you are in the winter, most of those winter months with the same temperature variations, you're probably going to be losing around the same amount. So then you can just say, oh, in the winter months I lose 1.5 pounds. I need to have that 36 ounces, right? Then in the summer I lose 3 pounds. So that means I need to drink more water in the summer around my workouts to replace what I lose during those workouts. So that's number 3.
Are you suggesting that someone didn't lose 3 pounds of body fat
Oh yeah,
during that workout?
they could not lose 3 pounds of body fat in that one because you would have to lose 3,500 times 3.
Yeah, you'd have
Yeah.
to burn what, like all
9,000
10,500
10,500
calories.
Yeah, 10,500 calories in one workout would be like a 24-hour workout.
Oh,
I mean, that
yeah.
would be a brutal.
And guess what? Your watch wouldn't even tell you accurately either.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
to double up on that.
Yeah, so you did not lose 3 pounds of fat, so you need to replace that 3 pounds with liquids that you did lose during the sweat. And then the number 4, So number 3 is replace what you lose. Number 4 is sip, don't chug. So this is kind of interesting. And I knew this to be true, but I didn't know why. And so sipping and cool water is another one. So this kind of correlates with how you drink your water, right? If you drink cool and you sip on your water, for every hour that said like your body can absorb about 32 ounces in an hour. So if you're chugging, you're basically just going to be running through that liquid, and your body's not going to be properly absorbing it. So if you're sipping on it and you just max out at 32 ounces in an hour, great. Then you're in a great spot. You are going to obviously, with extra hydration, piss more. That's just inevitable, but get used to it and deal with it, I guess, would be my solution to that. No, but you do, when you start consciously hydrating yourself more, you will notice that you pee quite a bit more often, but then you do get used to it, and it doesn't stay as that,
right. It does
that often.
trend back down. It is
And
always
that
funny
was-
though when people like, if we talk about hydration with any of my nutrition clients, they do always come back like within the next week or two. They're like, oh my god, I'm peeing so much now. Like, what do I do? I'm like, there's not really much that you can do to like
Go to
it just happens.
find the toilet.
Yeah,
It's just
go
what
to the-
happens,
go to
yeah.
the bathroom. Yeah.
And then the 5th one is boozing dehydrates you too. So boozing and caffeine will both dehydrate you. So knowing that, make sure that you're hydrating yourself when you're boozing. Make sure that you're if you drink a shitload of caffeine, like Dan had an F-bomb earlier, which is
Dan.
Core's new crazy stim.
It's insane.
Yeah. But if you have that frequently in a day, then make sure that you are staying extra hydrated, because that will expel more water. Booze, that's exactly what a hangover is. This is your Snapple cap of the day. You'll learn something. Like a hangover is actually the same symptoms and feeling the same as like dying from thirst, but you're actually just very dehydrated during a hangover. So stay hydrated. And if you know you're going to booze, just like we talk about when you're, when you should be counting it in your macros, right? If you're not on a celebratory day, right? But you should be counting it in your macros, so you know how to do that with the WAG app. You should also be conscious and be overhydrating during that time, because you know that you're going to be dehydrated. And if you are staying hydrated, I've found out myself, like if I stay hydrated, I rarely get hungover. Even like people have like swore by 35 years old that my hangovers get terrible and I can't drink and blah blah blah. My knock on wood, right? As I age, I continue to think like, oh, when am I gonna get like super hungover? And luckily I don't get crazy hungover even today, and I never did back in the day either. But I attribute a lot of that to just staying hydrated as much as I normally do. So.
The other
So
thing
you're
that you
saying
can
like,
do-
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you're saying like this weekend I need to hydrate a
Hydrate,
lot.
hydrate.
Yeah, bachelor party, hydrate.
What you need to do is
Just bring
This
a
is-
couple cases of water.
right.
Yeah.
Well, this is a pro tip for anybody: is get yourself a tub of Supremos.
Oh,
and then when you wake up either before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, typically for me it's when I wake up in the morning, pound down some Supremos, and you'll probably be within like, for me in my own, not that I have experience, but if
if I'm going to be hungover,
if I put myself in that situation, or
voluntarily you want to be in that situation.
yeah,
I get it.
summer on Thursday mornings in the summer after we have sand volleyball,
Oh, yeah.
everyone has seen me go into the gym sleepwalking and pound down like a double scoop of Supremos.
Yes.
But then I'm good in like 10 minutes, seriously.
Yeah. No,
But it's the electrolytes and it's the hydration, and it really
Yeah.
it's really insane.
and I'd recommend doing it at night.
You
to
should
to avoid that.
you should to
morning
avoid the
Yeah.
original the first
that's,
half
That's
hour,
what
but
usually helps me. But that Supremos in the kitchen cabinet is
it's insane
is
actually.
golden
It's really
for us for
it's
sure.
super helpful.
Yeah, so nice. What else have we got today?
I don't know.
Nothing.
I don't know. I think
Craving?
we
So,
covered
should we
a
call
lot.
it?
let's talk about what's that? Do we
Should we
want
call
to?
Amber for the? We can call her
grab
for
your
the
phone.
craving,
Let's see
yeah.
if she answers. We'll just mess with Amber and see if she has a craving prepared because she
Should
probably
you,
doesn't.
Should we?
But
Should we do like what's the thing with the caller ID? The star.
Oh,
6,
yeah,
7 or
Star
whatever?
6 7.
Is that
Oh my
still a
gosh.
thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. But Dan, talk about what you got going. You got celebration going on this weekend.
Yeah.
the
So we're going to Nashville for my bachelor party.
Ooh.
I've never been to Nashville, so I'm super excited. Kind of nervous to see what my friends have planned for me.
Yeah.
But I know we're going to Top Golf. We're going axe throwing, going to Margaritaville, and then Lower Broadway.
Okay.
So
nice.
in between those things, I don't know what the plan is, but Nashville hot chicken is on the menu.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
gonna go with
Okay.
that. Have to
Are
because it's
you a
Nashville.
spicy guy? You like
Yes.
the spicy? Yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't do any spice on those, but I've heard amazing things with
Yeah.
that.
I feel like
Nashville's
you almost
a ton
have
of
to,
fun.
like when you're in Nashville, you have to get the Nashville. hot
Right.
chicken.
Like I mean, if you're like down in Louisiana, you got to get Cajun food.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Like, a
you're
few
in
weeks
Kansas
ago-
City, you got to get barbecue. No,
Oh,
those
Amber's
types of
calling
things.
back. A few weeks ago, like when we were in New York, we went to Buffalo and like we had to get buffalo wings, and I couldn't even tell
Oh,
you
yeah.
honestly what the difference was. Like I'm assuming it'll be kind of the same thing, but like they are just
What up, Am?
incredibly better. Hi, Amber.
Am I getting called into the podcast?
Yeah.
Yes. What's up?
Okay, let's do this.
All right. So we ran out of topics, and so we were calling to see what our craving was today.
Oh, let's talk about who has the best wings in Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
That's a good.
Wings
That's a
is
good
one,
idea.
Yeah.
Moines.
Random, but okay.
I like it. So what made you think about
Weren't you
chicken
guys
wings?
Just talking about wings or something?
We were talking about hot chicken because Dan's going to
Oh yeah,
Nashville.
Nashville. Okay, so then I just thought you guys found the wing topic. So I'm like, well, because I kind of wanted to know this because I love wings. So
What was the thing you guys just wanted? What was the best happy hour or whatever? Why don't we put what's the best happy hour?
oh gosh, we got that would be a good one too. But we got
But nobody
zero
answered?
responses. So now we have two cravings in mind. So we'll do both of those.
All right, so we'll post that on the social for best wing spot here in town, and see what we come up with. But so how's everything going at home? How's Porter?
The gym because I had to go do some stuff in there. But fine.
Oh, okay.
I left at like 20 minutes ago. And so I'm heading back now. He's awake.
Amber's taking care of the gym
Oh.
over your own family, so appreciate
Yeah,
that.
but it's taking like 2 days to kick in, so we'll see.
Oh yeah. So yeah, did I tell everybody that he had an infection
Mhm,
earlier on
mhm.
this?
I think so.
Yeah. Sorry, my mind doesn't work from 30 minutes ago. So awesome. All right. Well,
No, it's
thank you.
good. The OP. I think that's a top contender, but we should totally go there to watch.
Oh, you're
Go
going.
Big Red.
I'm assuming
Going
that was
in and
something
out.
about Amber saying she wants to watch Nebraska like get embarrassed by like Northwestern.
Yeah. So Nebraska
This
plays
weekend.
Northwestern this weekend in Dublin.
There's the potential to be super embarrassing there.
Northwestern has nothing on us, Zach.
Right. Well, if you
Is Iowa
beat
play this weekend?
Hopefully.
No, they usually like put the shitty schools the first week, and then like the big schools start playing next week.
So you're saying you don't know who the shitty school is, or Nebraska or Northwestern?
I'm saying
Is that what I'm getting
they
at?
usually put two shitty schools against each other on the first week.
Oh, Zach.
Yes.
You can look it up.
Great.
It's-
No, great topic though. I'm so excited for football coming up, and
Me too.
It's
I'm
in the
thrilled.
air. So
It's
I'm
like the
excited.
best. It's like that fine line of you don't want summer to be over, but like fall is awesome for
the
football.
only reason I would want summer to be over, or the only thing that makes it okay, is football starting.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
preseason NFL, I remember we went to Central Standard that night and I saw football on TV and I'm like, holy cow, I feel like it's been so long since I've seen football being played on TV. Like usually it doesn't seem like it's very long, but I'm
been a-
excited.
It's been a long summer, so
Is
awesome.
preseason done for the NFL or is it?
I think there's
Still
like
going.
maybe 2 weeks left. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it gets longer and longer.
I feel like it does
Yeah.
too.
And then what's the show that they do?
Oh,
with
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks, yeah. Hard Knocks is in Detroit this year.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Detroit. Yep.
I haven't watched
I
any
haven't
of it,
watched it either.
but I
but I've seen
did
kinda
like
clips.
it. I've heard that this season is like one of the best Hard Knocks that there has been in a long time. Because I lost interest because they weren't very good for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I actually saw that too somewhere, so it must be a pretty good season. So we
Nice.
should watch it.
All right.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
For football season, everybody's homework out in internet land is tell us on social who has the best wings in Des Moines, and if you're not from Des Moines, who has the best wings where you're from. And I think that's all we got. Thank you for joining us, Amber.
Yeah,
And
thanks for calling me.
yeah,
Sorry I couldn't
of
be
course.
there today.
Yeah, we had to hear your voice at least. So
I know. Everyone's going to be so thankful you called me.
right there you go.
Just dropping hot topics like crazy.
There we go. Hot wing topics. Yeah. All right. And remember, you're an athlete. Live like it.
Bye, guys.
Born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
A&A, America needs athletes.